Ha ha ha. Hello, everyone. Terry Hardin, Walt Disney's legendary Imagineer here. How are you on Friday? If you're in California, get ready. You're going to be sizzling. A heat wave has hit us and it's not letting go. But there's light at the end of the tunnel. Excuse me. Tomorrow will be 20 degrees. Cooler. Of course, if you're in Northern California, I don't know if this applies to you, but I am talking about Southern California. But again, my name is Terry Hardin. I'm Walt Disney's legendary Imagineer, and this is Ask Me Anything Fridays. Rip, 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 rip. Yep. I do all the sound effects myself. I don't have all that fancy stuff that many others have. Just raw truth and an occasional cough. Let me have my tea. If you're just joining us, please post in the comments and let me know where you're from and who you are. And thank you for joining us. I'll thank you in advance. And if you're seeing this after the live, still post in the comments and let me know what you're thinking. I am a little slow in returning the comments. I am a working girl. I'm a very busy lady. And sometimes, and the computer, this whole social media thing is a continuing challenge for me. So I'm almost 65 years old. Yesterday at the hairdressers, the woman in the other chair guessed me at 45. I think she was being nice, but I'm almost 65. So I was there at a time that phones were murder weapons. They no longer can be a murder weapon. And we spoke like this, face to face, not like this. We didn't have little computers in our hands. We read a thing called the newspaper. We had a dozen channels, not 5 million options of what to watch. So it was we didn't even have computers actually. So it was a very different lifestyle, and I'm working very hard to take that step into the 21st century. So there you go. I'm getting ready. I'm wanting to make that step into the 21st century, and it's a challenge for me. So please, with tolerance, do me the favor of, if you do a post, don't think that I'm being nasty or mean by not answering it. I just may not be able to find it. So there you go. But welcome. Today is Ask Me Anything Friday, and we're going to discuss today, if you so choose, Walt Disney World and a discount to go into their hotel rooms if you are a Disney Plus member. This is something that Disney has done for the first time. But then Disney Plus is not that old. So there's the first time for everything. And I thought this was pretty cool. Or are you more excited? Because I said versus. Are you more excited about the coaster coming in May? The Guardians of the Galaxy coaster coming in May to Walt Disney World. No, it's not coming to Disneyland. It's coming to Walt Disney World, which is a good reason to go over and see the Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World. And I don't know if the coaster is going to be in the Magic Kingdom. The thing about Walt Disney World is it is a big flower, and it has many petals. Here at Disneyland, we have two petals. We have Disney California Adventure, and we have Disneyland. Okay, that's just two mints in one. But in Walt Disney World, they have Animal Kingdom. They have the Disney Magic Kingdom. They have Epcot. They have Hollywood, whatever their Hollywood Studios is. Now, we do have Downtown Disney, and they do have Disney Springs, I think it's called. But that's kind of different. That's sort of separate, yet attached. But the point is there's so much to do in Florida at Walt Disney World. A week sometimes is not enough. Where here, you can get a pretty good chunk in for your week if you so choose. And it's because of the real estate area that we have. When Walt picked Orange County, there was space, but not a ton of it. So he wanted more space. So that's when he went to Florida and saw that there was an opportunity to really grab a lot of land, and he did. So that's why Walt Disney World is larger, and it's exciting. It's a great place to go. I love going to Walt Disney World, and I was excited to hear about these two things. So if both excite you, post in the comments, won't you, about which you like, what's got your little tummy revving as a Disney enthusiast. Now, if you're not a Disney enthusiast, you still are in the right place. I have done a lot of work for a lot of things since I was about 8 years old. At one point, I auditioned for the voice of Figment. They introduced Figment, and then they asked people to submit their voice. My mom was working for Disney at the time, Imagineering at the time, and she submitted my voice, and I was one of the top 3 before they picked Billy Barty. I've also done films like Men in Black and Ghostbusters, also Captain EO with Michael Jackson, and my friend Robin Lopez, who is a basketball player professionally, he sent me, tagged me on a Twitter where this artist who does these like really cool kind of avant-garde looking rabbits dressed him up as Captain EO, and I thought it was really adorable, so I had to say something because I worked on Captain EO with Michael Jackson. It's one of the favorite jobs I've ever done because it had Francis Ford Coppola, George Lucas, and yes, Michael Jackson. And yeah, it had, it was cool. Let's just say it was a great job to have. But I have had a lot of jobs. If you're not sure what jobs, I'm on 2 Wikipedia pages, but even more importantly, just Google me and step back because it does keep scrolling. I will say it was a surprise to me the first time I learned how to do that. I was like, whoa. I've done a lot, and I'm here for you to ask me. This is the day that I help you if you have questions. If you have questions about my background, I am a mixed girl. I'm half black, half white. And I was born during the time Rosa Parks was fighting for her place on the bus, which means there were still white water fountains and black water fountains, not the color, but the isolation, the segregation. I was still part of that. And how was I raised? How did it come up? And how did I manage to be so electrified and positive at 9:44 in the morning? But basically, any question that you have. So let's talk about this. I actually was very excited to hear about the roller coaster. Okay. But I was also excited to hear about Walt Disney World discounting prices for the hotel. I mean, if you can fit in this niche, it's not, like the whole year. I don't think. I read this article. It came across my feed, and it looked to be that there was only a certain time you could book for a certain time. But still, that's pretty cool when you figure that it costs an arm and a leg to go to Disneyland. Any little bit helps, doesn't it? And it costs an arm and a leg to go to Walt Disney World. Any little bit helps, doesn't it? So I just thought it was cool. I had no idea about the coaster. I can't know everything. And this was exciting to me as well. I thought this coaster was going to be really cool. As you know, Tron's coaster. If you haven't ridden Tron at Shanghai Disneyland, which I have, you're going to be blown away with the Tron coaster. So I'm excited to see what the Guardians of the Galaxy coaster has to offer. So if you want to discuss more about that, if you know more about that, if you're excited about that, if you watched Moon Knight, we watched the second episode, a little less confusing. My husband did a lot of study so he could kind of tell me what was going on. Sometimes they tell you when you're not a Marvelite and you go, I'm confused anyway. Finishing my breakfast. Forgive me. I probably should cut to a nice picture for you to see. So I will. Tap. As I chew my food, this is a picture of me with my dragon from Dragon's Lair. This is actually the model. I designed the Dragon's Lair Paris for Disneyland Paris when it was called Euro Disneyland. That's the way it was when it opened. But here is a picture of me. They do walkthroughs of Imagineering for families and stuff. And so I did a cutout of myself petting the dragon inside the model. So, yep, that's something different. But I thought you could have that while I eat my breakfast a little bit and treat you all right. Delicious. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for being so patient, you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, one thing I want to tell you guys right off the bat, and I just have to, is I've got to share with you my Patreon page, Terry's Tribe. We do For just $5 a month, $60 a year, you can be a part of the tribe. Your voice is needed in this group. It is not all about me, although I will be full disclosing to you that when I started, I thought people would join because they want to hear more from me, but that's not the case. That may be why they dip a toe into my Patreon page, but what they realize once they get there and swim around in the waters of this community, they realize that it's about what they have to say and how they can be helped by so many in the group. Amazing, amazing people. So I want to encourage you to go here, check it out. If you want to join at a higher tier level, I call them portals. You can feel free, but $5 a month, $60 a year gets you a broadcast before this one every Monday and every Friday, and then a Zoom call that we do once a week. So I would say Wednesdays at 11, but we are now in discussion as to maybe we're going to shift that Zoom call so more can attend. So lots of discussion. I'll bounce things off you. I have questions that I won't bounce to the public group, but I'll bounce with them. Discussions happen that would never happen here. We dig deep, and last week was one of those times that we dug really deep, because when the mood moves you, you move. So as I told my tribe today, it's interesting throughout my life, and I've been busy most of my life, and my life, if you Google my name, you'll see just how much I've done. And this is not bragging. This is like, whoa, I've done a lot. And what I'm really realizing is my calling is to help you get to where you want to go. Okay. That seems to bring me the most pleasure. I love showing you my art. Don't get me wrong. But what brings me the most pleasure is to help you get to where you need to go. And more importantly, make you realize you deserve it. You're worthy of it. Because people who want to do what they love, and I don't care if it's cleaning if cleaning is your thing, if numbers are your thing, if art is your thing, if Disney is your thing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Many of you will tell me that, or you won't even tell me, but you'll act like you don't deserve it. And you do. So on the Patreon page, I get really personal. And sometimes it can be a little bit sharp. But I would never do it here. Never do it here. Never do it on a public page. But I will be frank with you, and I will be honest with you, and I will tell you exactly what I think. So when I tell you you're wonderful, you can believe me. Okay. And that's what happens on the Patreon page. So I urge you to check it out. Okay. This Wednesday, we are going to do a spotlight. A spotlight is where I take the spotlight off of me. Hard to believe, right? And put it on to one of you in the tribe. And this week, it's this coming week. So next Wednesday is going to be Connie Lane. If you don't know who Connie Lane is, time for you to Google her. Okay. But I'll just give you a little teaser. She knew Walt Disney. She was on Disney's right side, or maybe his left side, but she walked around with him, and that was her job to do that. And I'm being really cryptic on purpose. So you can join the tribe and hear her talk. It will not be anywhere else. And even if you miss the Zoom call, I do highlights. I do not do the entire Zoom call. You got to be on the call. So you can listen if you're at work. You know, you can put in your headphones if you're allowed to do that. You can listen. But the point is it's not to be missed. So if you've been thinking about joining my Patreon page, patreon.com/Terri Hardin, and joining the tribe, please do. It was intense last Wednesday. It happens. It's me. Okay. Those of you who don't know me are going to go, what do you mean intense? Well, things hit me. You know, artists have would you agree? You can tell me in the comments that artists don't know how to price their work. Okay. This happens. I didn't when I was young, and I do now. Okay. But I help you with a formula on how you can price your work, what you're worth, especially if you're a little bit scared about pricing it. And I'm just talking about artists right now. No one specifically, artists in general, musician, singer, songwriter, writer, anybody that if it's their passion, if it's your passion, you're an artist, no matter what it is. You love digging ditches. You love building building. You love numbers. You love crunching numbers, and numbers are your palette. That's called an accountant or a bookkeeper. And people go, that's not artistic, especially if you're a bookkeeper or your accountant. You say, that's not artistic, but it is. If you're magical with numbers and you're passionate about numbers, you are an artist. Okay. Your palette is the paper, and your paintbrushes are your way you work with numbers. So please start to think of your work, if you're passionate about it, as your art. Okay. No matter what it is. Okay. Cleaning, gardening, whatever it is, it's your passion. Okay. That's, homeschooling your kids. This is amazing work. Stay-at-home moms homeschooling their kids don't get a lot of praise, but they should, because they are shaping the generations to come. And we need that. We need people like that. So basically what I'm saying to you is that this is what happens in the tribe. We talk about the stuff, but a lot deeper. I don't do it. I just touch on it like now, because you are worthy. You're allowed to do this. Don't let anybody else choose your life. Okay. For you. It's a scary thing to dip a toe in that water. And that's why I'm saying we got you in the tribe. Okay. All right. Enough of that. Just wanted you to know that your voices need to be in there. Okay. Just plain and simple. All right. Let's jump over to you. We can talk about what I just did. You can ask me a different question. I'm noticing that the numbers are lower today, and that may be because it's Friday. It's warm. You might be at the beach. We're hot here, and why listen to me on Zoom when you can do it later on Zoom? Why listen to me on StreamYard, on Facebook, and on YouTube? And for the YouTube people, hi. And for the Facebook people, hi. And yes, I am being efficient by broadcasting in both places. Okay, just makes it a little less traumatizing for yours truly, as I want to reach you all, right? And I want you all to know you deserve to be happy, and you deserve to do what you want to do. So how can you do it? Patreon.com/Terri Hardin is a way to figure that out. Okay. All right. Because some people will look at that and go, you're selling. And what I want to say to you is, no, selling is service. And that is a service to you. That is a service that I bring to you for $5 a month, $60. It's not going to break the bank. But if it does, then you can stay here, because you'll get little nuggets, so it's still good. So please then subscribe here. That will help me out too. And if you know someone who will like this video, then please let them know about this video on YouTube. And those of you who are on Facebook, share it with a friend. Bring your friends and watch it. Okay. On either channel. The nice thing about YouTube is if you have a Roku or a streaming stick of some sort, you can still be waking up in the morning, curl up with a nice cup of joe, and watch this. Okay. So that's kind of why I like YouTube as well. But I'm learning every day how to do something better. Okay. And right now I'm mostly doing lives, but I will be doing other videos as I learn how to do them. So there you go. All right. So let's see about you guys. Hi, B-siders. Hi, Leo. And see what you have to say. And we'll get into the discussion. Happy Friday, Joe. Good to see you. Hello, says Darren, and everyone here on the flip side. So Darren and Leo are tribe members. And Joe, as soon as you can, I think you would have, Joe Penny, I think you would have a lot to add. Evan Hunter says, hello again. I love seeing different view of your studio. Love the flowers outside your window. Yes, if I cut to the flowers outside my window, Evan, these are bougainvillea, but this is my security system. Okay. The city of Burbank, when this was built, said I had to have a back window. Now, I love back window. It's not that I don't love a back window, but they said that because this back window is where it's located, it should have some sort of security system. And they suggested bars. And I was like, I don't like bars, bars across the window. Okay. But anyway, so my gardener said a bougainvillea, because if you've ever tried to climb inside a bougainvillea, and why would you? It hurts. It hurts a lot. They have nice, big, long needles that stick you. So that's what he suggested, and I love it. I absolutely love it. And it is back. We replaced the fence this year. the wall behind the bougainvillea, so they had to cut it back, and I really got emotional. But now she's back in all her glory, and she's not letting go, my bougainvillea. So thank you, Evan, for noticing that. Joe says, wake me when they drop the price to a 1 day of a 1 day ticket to $65. Yes, I know, Joe. I know. It's a small gift, isn't it, to have a discount to the hotel, but I'm shocked that they did it. You know, I'm surprised they did anything. But it just kind of shows the way things are, maybe things are happening for them right now. I don't know. You know, with certain people in position in the office, it just really goes against that person, right, JPEG? So I gave a giggle when I saw that, you know, especially since May is coming and the coaster thing is happening. So that's usually when they, you know, so I'm grateful and thought I ought to bring attention to it. Yeah, great angle in the studio this morning. I understand it's hot in LA today, 100 degrees in Anaheim. It is going to be awful. But tomorrow, Saturday, just in time for your weekend, it's going to drop 20 degrees. Yeah. So that's going to be lovely, huh? Especially if you're on the coast. People on the coast do not like it to be over 75 degrees. That's why they moved to the coast. Not to mention that the beach is cool, but some like it, you know, but no. They can be very, very cranky because they used to boast that they didn't have to have air conditioners. All of a sudden, this weather was hitting the coast. They were like, what? So there you go. Joe says they had segregated water fountains in Southern California back in the 50s and 60s. Did they have them at Disneyland? I do not believe so. But the first time I went to Disneyland, I was 4. And the water fountains was not what I was looking at. So I can't tell you, but maybe one of you other people out there can post in the comments. That's an interesting question, Joe. See, you'd be great in the tribe. Leo says, so how much will Disney make when it upcharges for Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind Fast Passes? Yes, there's always a caveat, isn't there, Leo? Always a caveat. If you want to get on this, we're going to up the, yeah. And maybe that's what they're thinking. Maybe more people are staying off property, you know, or at a hotel that's not a Disney hotel because they're offering better prices. I don't know. But that's my question. I'm almost done. I know you did not log in to watch me eat my cereal. But I am on these for a long time, and if I don't eat something, the next thing you will see is me disappear. So, no. My husband made me promise. So thank you for being tolerant and patient of my chewing in front of you. Leo says, Joe says, Leo Holzer, $1 billion. Or as Ren and Stimpy used to say, $57 million. But that's another conversation, isn't it? Darren says there was another QR code in episode 2 of Moon Knight. Opens a digital comic, FYI. You know, my husband saw it. He missed the first one, and we watched the first one last night. And it was tiny, right, Darren? That code is really tiny. So when you hold your phone up to your TV set, do you have to have like a big TV set to get it? Or is it okay as tiny as it is? Or is there another close-up shot I'm missing where you can see that code in episode 1? Episode 2, we caught it because I told my husband learned a lot, but he didn't know about the QR codes. So he was excited about the QR codes. So he's been looking for them ever since. But we have not held our phone up. We were just too comfortable curled up in the bed while we were watching these with our dog. And we didn't want to get up and zoom in on the QR code. So, but I do want to do that. I want to run them and see if I can do like you did and get to the comic. Because I think that's a cool idea. I like that. You know, I like that. I think that's neat. I think that's really neat. So thank you for continuing to let me know that, because I did not. I was too busy going, what am I watching during the first one? because not being a Marvelite, I am usually confused. But when I saw this Moon Knight, although I liked it, I couldn't even tell you why I liked it. I just liked it, and but I had no idea what was going on, and so we watched it again yesterday, and then we watched episode 2, and my husband actually watched it had it on the background at work because it was an extra slow day. Or maybe he watched it before work. I'm not clear. In any case, he watched it. I said, without me. And he said, well, I did that so that I could explain to you and make it clear to you. And we watched it again. And it's starting to clarify for me. There's a couple of things that happened in the second one that I just thought were cute and touching and sweet. And so I'm still in. I'm still in to watch the next episode. I think this one has me intrigued, whereas many don't. But that one does. And it's only because, and please, those of you who are Marvelites and have been waiting and waiting and waiting for the Moon Knight to hit the big screen, it's not dissing him. I don't understand him like 99.9% of the characters in Marvel. So my husband has to kind of walk me through it. So that's what I'm talking about. But it's keeping my attention, even though I'm mostly clueless about it. Leo says it costs an arm and a kidney to go to WDW Resort. Yes, I've heard this. In part because Disney controls so many hotel rooms. There are more options around Disneyland, and Disney-owned properties charge a premium, with some of the former perks disappearing. And he's right. Okay, we probably should do a Disneyland, Disney World comparison. And Leo, maybe we can have a discussion about that as to what we would ask. And we can do a video based on that, because that would be a good video. But Walt Disney World is larger, and he's right, has more control over the property hotels that are in Walt Disney World. Where here in Disneyland, we have a lot of littler hotels or non-Disney park hotels where you can stay. And like I said before, many people go, how long am I in the hotel? And the answer is to sleep. So grab a shower, sleep, maybe catch a little bit of breakfast, but most of the time you're not hanging out in your hotel. So if you can catch a break, you catch a break. I think even if you have a gazillion dollars, okay, let's say you're a gazillionaire, you still often ask yourself, listen, how long am I in the hotel? And if the answer is to sleep and to have a shower next day and to get to rope drop, you're going to save the money too, because then you can spend it in other places like, what is it? Carthay Restaurant, Napa Rose Restaurant, Storyteller Restaurant, Lamplight Restaurant. There was Steakhouse 55, but I heard they closed. But I mean, there are some great things. Or you can chill, you can chill with a drink at Trader Sam's. You can chill with a drink at Trader Sam's, which is my favorite place, because you got some happy, fun, eclectic people there that collect tikis. And I would like to create a tiki, and I don't know anything about creating a tiki. So I love talking to people about what they want in a tiki, because I'm thinking of doing one. Will it be a Disney one? I don't know that it will. I just want to do a tiki. I haven't been that specific yet. But the best way to do that is to get with these tiki collectors at Trader Sam's, and many of them are there, and they will tell you what they like about them and what they don't, and what they'd like to see that's not in their collection, which is one of my favorite questions to ask when I'm trying to find out about a new thing I might make. What is it you're missing in your collection? So there you go. Yep. And while I'm on the subject of collection, those of you who ordered the Cheshire Cat, and I'm going to show him to you for those of you who need a reminder. Where is he? There he is. Okay. And here he is. The Cheshire Cat. There he is. Isn't he cute? The Cheshire Cat has arrived, and I am putting the finishing touches on it. So look for middle April. Okay. After tax, April 18th. Okay. I am too distracted. Isn't he cute? He's available. TerriHarden.com. click on online store. You can learn more about him. Okay. But he's really cute. He's in my impressions line. I have about 20 left out of the limited edition of 50. Grab him while you can, if you like it, and he will be coming to you. He is coming to you by then. It'll be after April 18th. And why? Because April 18th is tax day, and I'm not going to lie to you, I'm distracted. So I want to make sure that I do everything carefully. I'm looking at every cat to make sure I'm happy, and I'm creating the experience around the cat. Because those of you who know me, and for those of you who don't, I am speaking about when you're going to sell something. So let's say you're creative, or you're someone who has an idea of, maybe I'd like to sell something. Maybe I'd like to make an offer on my Instagram, on my Twitter. Maybe you want to connect with Shopify, whatever or Etsy, whatever you're kind of thinking might be cool for you. You might want to do something yourself. You might want to create something, or find something and bring it in, or whatever. It always works better if you create an experience around it. Make it more about the experience of receiving it. And from the very first time they see it, they get the whole experience of what they have purchased. So just food for thought. That's something for you here. Don't say I never gave you anything. So Leo says Disneyland and Disneyland Hotel opened with no segregation. See? That can't be said of other hotels in Anaheim back in 1955. See, 1955 was before I was born. It's actually before my parents met. My parents met in 1956-ish. They might have met in 55, 56. But 56 was when they got married. Okay, so they probably did meet 54, 55. My mom and dad are from the closed mouth generation, which means that they don't really talk about the past that much. So you have to kind of wait till they don't think they're talking about the past, and then listen carefully. Because sometimes we ask my mother and father outright about things in the past, they clam up. So I have to wait till they go, I remember when, and then I say, okay. And then I record it, or I write it down really fast, and I'm creating a compilation of all their stories, because I have to hit while the iron's hot. They don't sit like my grandfather used to and tell me stories of the past. My grandfather on my father's side told me about the Pony Express and how it drove past his home when he was a youngin'. So I love stories coming from the mouths of older people. And I would love it to be my parents, but my parents are kind of like, go figure. So thank you, Leo, for that information. I knew you would come through. Leo Holzer, well, that's good to know. Walt didn't perpetuate that nonsense in his plates. Yeah, he's creative. Most of that kind of person doesn't do it. Richard Barnes, happy Friday. I would love to learn how to create faux stone rock work. Have you ever thought about offering workshops? Oh yeah, and actually tutorials. Yeah, but that's a good one. I'm going to write it down. It's one of the ones I didn't think about, actually, Joe, and it's probably because it's so obvious. It's sitting on the shelf right here. Because I did create I was going to do a man cave for a guy back east, and then the pandemic hit and he lost his job, so he could not have the man cave happen. But I did it. I could do it. Yeah, I can put the team together. It can be pricey, but because I'm an Imagineer, I can make things like that happen. So, but I will talk about, I'm going to put a note here. And workshops on rockwork and faux, like you said, and faux stone. You even spelled faux right. Not that I'm making a note of it, but because I wouldn't have spelled it right. Okay, yeah, great suggestion, Richard. I will put it in there, because this is on Friday on December. It's my Celebrate and Fix month. Besides Christmas, it's my Celebrate and Fix, where I take a hard look at my past year and see what works and what didn't. And then I set a goal to do the following year. And one of them is to finish the Rolly Crump chess set. I want it to come out in October, and it's work. I love it. I love it, but it's a lot more hours than I expected, but I'm loving every minute of it. And to create tutorials. So I'm actually getting with one of my mentors, and we're going to lay down and do a roadmap of that and a roadmap of a couple of other things. So thank you for that. Thank you for this. This is a great idea. I appreciate it. Appreciate you doing that. A cup of me? I'm not in any cup. You're so funny. A bar by your window would be great if it had a good old-fashioned cocktail. Have you guys ever been, Darren, you bring up, have you guys ever been to the Smokehouse, which is known for being a place like Musso and Frank's, only it's across from the Warner Brothers studio, which used to be Columbia, blah, 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 right? We shot there when it was Columbia. We shot Ghostbusters there. But that's where we filmed it. And part of New York, of course, but I didn't need to go to New York for what I played. But they have the Smokehouse, which is there. It's known for a lot of famous people coming from the studios to have a nice bite. And they have, I like the Moscow Mules, and I call it the Moscow Mule line because the Smokehouse has 6 or 7 different mule varieties, and they're all sour. And that I like a sour cocktail. I just like it to feel it back here. And so the mule really works. Gives you a kick. Ding. And it really works. I like it. So I love going to the Smokehouse because they have 7 different varieties and you can try it. And they call them all different kind of names and stuff. And it's an older cocktail, of course, but it's one I really like. The newer ones tend to be sweeter with a lot of bars and things. So I'm always walking in and going, what's sour? And they go, oh yeah, especially Disneyland. They go, oh, their ones we have are mostly sweet. And I go, doggone it. So sometimes it'll work in Disney and sometimes it won't. I don't do a lot at Disney, but when I want a cocktail, I like it to have a little sour kick to it. So an old fashioned cocktail, that would be mine. Darren Michael's right. Tiki bars across the window. Maybe next door. Holly says, I've been part of Terry's tribe for a long time now, and I can say my life has been much improved by it. And right back at you, Holly. Holly is an amazing young woman, and her voice has been, I have to tell you, especially during the pandemic, she helped a lot of people. She's a mom, and she's a really good mom. She has really golden children, and they're amazing. They're amazing. And I think when a child is with you and they visit with you as a person, meaning me, that really is a good reflection on the parents, is how your kids behave. And if your kids behave poorly, it's not saying that it's your fault. Sometimes you got kids that get it in their little head that they feel that, or they're tired, or they've had too much sugar. So I'm not going to say that it blames you if they're not cool, but Hollies are always so sweet and kind and loving. And I can't get over their sweet, sparkly personalities. It just keeps, and she and her husband have really helped us during the pandemic by sharing with us some of their views because of where they are in their lives. Okay. That's all I'm going to say, because what stays in the tribe, what we say in the tribe stays in the tribe. Okay. So I'm not gonna, but I will give you a window into, man, she came thinking it would be great to hear from me. But as I have discovered, is when you join, I learn a lot from you. So, and I keep that first tier low at $5 a month, $60 a year, because I want you to be able to realize your value. There's a lot of you out there that don't think you have value as a human being. And I want you to know you do. Why? Because you are a human being. So think about it. Give it some thought. Maybe not have a Starbucks, and then you join the tribe. Leo says the spring break crowds at WDW Resort have been at capacity, and Disneyland had that same situation for a while. But I'll tell you, I went and visited a friend on March 31st thinking it was going to be whack-doodle, and it was actually very nice. It didn't feel overwhelmingly crowded at any time. I didn't feel too enclosed. And me with crowds, regardless of the pandemic, is something that can get me. But with the pandemic, I'm worse. And it was good. You know, also, you guys are always keeping me like I'm a pass holder. I have a Dream Key pass, but it doesn't have to be a Dream Key pass. And I got this last month, and this is because I went with someone who knows and understands. See, you guys all understand this Disney stuff. Okay, I had no idea that they give these little special things out to people who have a pass, and this is really cute. This is a portable straw, and unlike most portable straws, it comes in 3 parts. Okay, so it comes like this. Okay, and it has this cute little brush. Now, if you've ever had a straw before, the brush is long, isn't it? So what I like about that is in its disassembled state, you can make sure you're getting the middle and each of the ends, right? This is actually the middle one. But you can get the, you can get the middle clean and you can get each end clean, correct? And then, so you don't have to do the whole length, and it screws together. And I got to tell you guys, it doesn't leak. Whoops, I'm dropping it, but it doesn't leak. So here it is here. You can see that here it is, and it doesn't leak. And it's seriously cute. I'll cut here. It's seriously cute. Look at it. Let's slide over here. Cat. And it's really amazing, and it fits. And then you don't have a long tube you have to worry about. You have the short tube. It has the cute little key emblem here, right? And then, well, let me give you some more light. Maybe you're like, I can't see it. Okay, there you go. There's the cute little emblem. Here's the straw, and it comes apart in 3 parts. I would have never known this existed, guys, if it hadn't been for you. It likes to run away, so let's put it there. But doing it in 3 parts, see, this is what's beautiful about some Disney designs and other Disney designs. You go, what are they thinking? But the reality of it is there's a lot of things here. This little brush, which I love, because you can get into the middle of your straw. You're sure to get into the middle of your straw and to each end of your straw, and it's short. So then it fits in here, like that. These guys fit in here, like that. And then they have the carabiner, so it can hook to your belt or your purse or something. Also clever. Really clever. Probably more clever than a lot of the products you got to pay for. So I think this one's really cool. But if it hadn't been for you guys, see, isn't it cute? If it hadn't been for you guys, I would have never known it existed. All right, I would have never known that it was there. And here, I'll show you. It's about yay big. Yay big, see? Yay big. Yay big. Woo! I don't know. I thought it was cool. I thought it was very cool. So that's what happened when I went to Disney and I was told, hey, you got to go over to California Adventure and get your gift. And you guys say it happens once a month. So have any of you been to the park and found out what the gift is this month? Or is there one? I don't know how you guys find out about this stuff, but you're so good at it that, like I said, I need you as much as you need me. Seriously. Darren says, plug for the tribe. Although it's awesome to learn about Terri, and she's an onion with many layers that we keep learning more about, it's also really about the fellow tribe members. The love and support of Terri and my fellow tribe members has been unbelievable and beautiful. And Darren's voice is also equally helpful. Darren, his background has helped many of us in certain areas, and it's just been lovely. So thank you, Darren, and thank you for what you just said. Stephen says, the view with your back window is rather Tiffany risk. Yes, it's pretty, isn't it? Yeah, it's got a lot going on back there, though. Yeah, I know. Like, you like to look behind me. There's a lot going on. There's this dragon. Okay, this dragon that's right there. Him. He's from I forget what he's from. He's from I can't remember. He's really cute though. He's really, really cute. I think he's the one from is it up I don't know. The one where the guys bring their dad comes back or something. Anyway, I think he might be from there, but if not, I could be wrong. But he moves around my studio. Right now he's resting on top of that microphone, but sometimes he moves. I like having dragons here. I have quite a few. Um, yeah, there's lots. Yeah, it's my toy box. I work out of my toy box. Yeah, pretty much. And then things that you send me. Somebody gave me this right here. This is just like a Cinderella sketch thing at the back. Um, I may send that to someone at the tribe. I do a treasure chest, and might be time to do something different. And I go, hey guys, you want, Above that is a Disneyland magnet. I love the magnets, but I don't want to put them on my car because I think people will take them from me. So yeah, so that's what's going on. So thank you, Stephen. Joe says, could you please get close-ups of your mouth when you eat? It's fun. Yeah, no, Joe, I'm not going to do that to people, but thank you. You're silly. QR code in episode 1 was very small. I agree. Okay, then I saw it. I did see it. And episode 2 was the storage door and much more accessible. Yes, I did see that one. That one was really big. And it's funny because I saw the little one and I paused and I said, I think that's the code that Darren told me about. And then we saw it in the second one and my husband is like, oh, and I go, look, I'll bet you if you do that, you'll go to a comic. Because Darren said so. So I really appreciate that, Darren. That made it extra fun. I like hunting for those QR codes. I can't be distracted though. I have to now not be about the QR codes because I like the idea that you can go and learn something. I think that's brilliant. I'm like, maybe I should have a QR code here somewhere and it takes you somewhere. That's a good idea. I don't know what it would be. What would that take you to? What would you get? But it might be kind of nice to have a QR code in the back. I don't think they're hard to make, right? I've been told by people they're really easy to make. These are things I can ask people that are helping me in certain levels of my stuff, Click on the QR code behind me and see what you get, Give me a shout out and there you go, right? Seriously good idea. Yeah, really good one. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Bob Berdeen says, I would like to address the Patreon page, or as we call it, the tribe. It's like capturing lightning in a bottle. It's so amazing. I liken it to finding a great restaurant. You would share the location with your friends, and that's what I'm doing. If you join, you will say, why did I wait so long? Enjoy. Yeah. Thank you, Bob. He's always so sweet. And another voice that is very much appreciated in the tribe. You see how well he speaks. So you don't have to speak well. Don't even have to speak. Many people just listen. But they like being a part of the tribe. So I want you to have that service too, if it suits you. If not, till I'm done. A volcanic dragon tiki would be cool. Ooh, nice idea. You're full of them today, Leo. Full of ideas. Lots of Disney fan in the tiki culture. Yes, I've noticed. My email address even reflects my love for the Enchanted Tiki Room. The Enchanted Tiki Room is adorable, isn't it? Yes, it's adorable. And I never tire of it. And I remember one time I was with Mice Chat at Disneyland and it was hot. It was so sweltering and a bit stifling. This was when I'm writing down. Anyway, it was so hot and uncomfortable. And we went to the Enchanted Tiki Room. And not only was it air conditioned, it was air conditioned. And we just sat there looking at this beautiful, colorful show going, it felt so good. It felt so good. The coolness of the shadows because the lights were on the show. And there you were in the background with the coolness touching your skin. And oh my gosh, it was wonderful. I've never forgotten that tiki day, how wonderful that tiki room was. So I'm with you, Joe. Absolutely. Terry, Dan D, Matt M, Brian M, and Dean B are a great resource for tikis. You should ask them. I actually have a neighbor who's pretty darn good at it. But I'll reach out to them. Absolutely. I will do that. Thank you for the suggestion. I'll ask them all because I like to know all that is. But I really would like to do a tiki, and my neighbor's the one who really got me into it. And also watching you guys collect the different color of Hitchhiking Ghost tikis, and the only thing that was different was the color of the patina. And I was like, I want to get in on this. So that's how it starts. Hey, I want to get in on people collecting all my stuff because the color is different. I love that. As Richard Sermon said, Walt didn't see race or religion. Disney's also been labeled as an anti-Semite. Sometimes some Jewish people still believe, even though it's been thoroughly debunked. Leo, you need to talk to Evan on this one. Evan has a real good insight, and not here at the tribe, but Evan talked to me about this yesterday, and oh my gosh, I know Walt was not, and but it's interesting. Yeah, you'll like talking. Yeah, just talk to Evan in our tribe, okay? Steven says, if they ever add any more rooms at the Madonna Inn, maybe you could design something for them. Yeah, that's a wacky place, isn't it? My best Madonna Inn story, for those of you who'd like to hear it, is Tony Baxter. And many of you know Tony Baxter. He's a rock star. He's currently going to be appearing at Disneyland Paris because he was the master of that park. The master of that park. He oversaw all of us as we created what we did, gave us his insight, his support, and his knowledge. And he continues to do so. Tony Baxter is the amazing and wonderful Tony Baxter. He's about to go to Paris, if he hasn't gone already, to speak on the anniversary of Disneyland Paris, which is April 12th. So if you happen to be there, and Terry's tribe member Liz Reed does get to go, she's going. She is beside herself because this is a woman who liked, during the pandemic would go to look through the fence. She really is a Disney Paris crazy person, and we love her for that. She just flatters me to no end on several levels. But she really goes. She's got it in her blood, and she can't stay away from very long. You know how it is if Walt Disney World is the same for you, or Disneyland is the same for you. You know what she's like. And she gets to go and hear Tony. So he's going to be speaking about Paris, and I'm very excited to hear about that. And she's going to take some pictures, and she's going to tell us about, what she's discovered. But Tony, when we were doing something for the Carolwood Foundation, that's a group of people who love Disney, but specifically Disney trains. We were up in San Luis Obispo, and Tony said, hey, let's go to the Madonna Inn to eat, and I will show you the women's bathroom. He said, it's not to be missed. He was right. But it's weird when Tony says, let's go see the women. Let's go see any bathroom. What? But once you walk in, and I forget, a woman checked. I don't think it was me who checked. A woman popped in to make sure there were no women in there, and then we all went in there. And then we stood guardians at the door so that he could talk about that bathroom, and it was amazing. As the rest of Madonna Inn is just a wild place, right? It's a wild place, Stephen. You're absolutely right. Darren says sour cocktails are great. Have you had how do you say that? Pico? Like in Pisces? Pico sour? No, you can tell I haven't because I can't even pronounce it. That would be fun, Darren. Gee, that portable straw is pretty dang cool. It is. I think it's one of the best straw. I mean, this, sometimes Disney does stuff that you look at and you go, why did they ever put that on the market? It's awful. But this was free to Disney. This was a gift to Disney pass holders. Free is kind of, we're giving you this. You didn't have to pay for it, but it's cool. I gotta thank my friend Evan for this, because Evan was the one. We gotta go get that now. And so we did. And wow, you had to have your pass, and you had to show it, and they looked at it. And once you did, they put you in line, and they gave you one. They gave you one, and then they punted you out, and they record it. Okay. Cause I guess there's a way with the phone that Disney cast members can record that you got yours, so you can't get back in line and get another one. They regulate it. This is what they should do at D23 and other places, so you all can get what you want. If you're going to spend any kind of money to go to any kind of event, this is the way to do it. So I was very, very impressed by it, and the straw as well, Joe. I would love that straw. I haven't seen one so portable. I have a beautiful one that I have a friend from Hawaii, and he bought me a gorgeous metal one with the cleaner that's the same amount, and it's very thin and it's very nice and it fits in my pouch and I love it. But I had never seen, like you guys are talking about, one that separates in 3 parts, and that way you have to because sometimes if you're not careful, you might think you're not getting the middle. I mean, you look through it, but I mean, it's only straw. Then you can put soap through it and all that. Of course you can. You can soak it. Of course you can. But this just seems a little simpler when you're on the go. So I agree with you, Leo. It's really, really wonderful. Is that a rat behind your computer? Yeah, this is Remy. This one? Remy, you can wear on your shoulder. I actually saw a girl wearing Remy on her shoulder the last time I went to Disneyland. And then this is a gift from one of the tribe because of Ghostbusters. This is one of the characters that I built with the team of builders. I built the Marshmallow Man and puppeteered the face. Didn't I? Yes. You're happy today, aren't you? Mm-hmm. Very. Everything's a puppet. But that's what's behind my computer. So there they are. That's my little team that looks at me. And I like it because Remy sticks to the microphone because he has a magnet in his butt. So he just adheres to my microphone and says, "Hi, how you doing?" to the base of it. Yep, that's him. Yep. Good eye. QR code behind you to take you to the website or page is pretty friggin' brilliant. Yes, Darren, I'm telling you, I'm liking the idea. My whole body is getting chills. That feels like an aha moment for me. I'm going to talk to my husband about it because I don't have that ability. But I think that I remember somebody telling me it's very easy to get a QR code for a lot of the stuff that you have, that it's simple, easy. So I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah. Maybe, I don't know. It's a great idea, isn't it? It's exciting. Ooh, got chills on that. See, you guys are great. You guys are fantastic. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Okay. There is an arrow on your wall pointing up. Oh, it's not really an arrow. I'm intrigued. No, it's not really an arrow, and I could show you what it is. It's actually a lantern. My camera is fixed. This one's fixed, so I can't really show it to you, but maybe next week I will. It's a Chinese lantern, and you're looking at the tail, which is the tassel, and the bottom feet, which look like an arrow. And behind me here, though, if you're kind of saying, I'm looking back here to see what's in Terry's toy box, this right here is Robo Mickey. So I found him at a Disneyana fan club event. Remember I said that I'm going to be honored as a Disney legend by the Disneyana Fan Club International? Well, they have a show and sale the next day on the 15th, and I found this Mickey there and could not resist. And, of course, Totoro, my favorite Miyazaki. And over here is a stamps, a Jim Henson stamp that Jim sent me. Jim Henson himself sent it to me. Below is my friend who has passed away, several of my friends who passed away, but I want to remember them in my brain. And above that is me dancing with Whoopi Goldberg. So, yep, I got all kinds of crazy stuff back there. So, thanks for looking past me. I've got to go. Have a great weekend. See you on, I know. Take care, Bob. You're so sweet to stay so long. Appreciate it. Have a lovely weekend. Darren says I have an Oswald that I keep with me for support. There you go. There you go. Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. Nothing wrong about Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. I have 2 pins available in my store. One is exclusive to tribe members. That's the black and white Oswald pin that is about that big. And the blue one that's available to all of you. So if you love Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, go to my website, TerriHardin.com, click on online store, and you can find them there, along with the hitchhiking ghost pin. So there's a lot of fun stuff in the store. feel free to go there. Nothing's going to clamp on you and nothing's going to go and make you stay. It's just really lovely. In fact, if I'm nice, I will show you some. Oh, I hit the pirate bed. There we go. Okay, so here are the 2 pins. Here are the 2 pins right here. The gray one is sold. If you're a tribe member, you can buy it. And the blue one, you have to talk to me and I give you a code, all that. Maybe a QR code that goes to that pin. Anyway, the blue one is, there it is, how big it is, 3 fingers large. So there you go. And the back is, there's only 100 and it's embossed with my signature. And then when you buy it from me, I sign it underneath. You can buy this pin from my friend Josh. I have this one. I happen to love the councilwoman from Lilo and Stitch. She's my favorite. And when the actress who did the voice passed away, I did a pin to honor her. Limited to 150, also signed. And then this is my dragon pin. I sent this to NASA and to SpaceX so that I could thank them for naming their ship the Dragon. And of course, that's because of me, right? And here's the Hitchhiking Ghost pin glowing. Here it is, not glowing. I have a few of these left. But there you go. So that's the way it looks under normal circumstances. It's a big one too. And here it is. It glows in the dark. So there you go. Okay, so there's some pins. Also have a Splash Mountain one, but for some reason, I don't have it in that group. So I will dig it up and do it. People have bought them, but they go and they grab what they like. So QR codes are extremely easy to generate. See, that's what I've heard. So I'm looking forward. I think I'm going to do that, Darren. I'm going to do that. I think that's cool. I'll put it back. Since you guys are looking back here, I won't say anything. I'll just let you find it and do like you said, Darren. It'll be fun. By the way, says Darren, I started using the dental tools. Okay, this is a conversation that did not happen here, but we'll hear what he has to say. Oh my God, the uses are amazing. Not just the ends, but the entire tool. Yes. I have to have some discoveries that you get to discover. I can't give you all the clues, Darren. Just where to get it. You're going to be very, very, very happy. Yep, those dental tools are a godsend. I use them in my wax and I use them in my clays. I use them everywhere. So, yeah, they're very, very, very cool. And on the tribe page, we say where you can get them. A lot of times you can get dental tools at a swap meet and stuff like that, but we have other means, don't we, Taryn? But you got to join the tribe. That's not twisting your arm. I have a couple of questions about when you saw Star Wars 183 times in the theater. Which theater did you see it? The Egyptian Theater in Hollywood? When it had that long awning? Shortly after that, Alien had actual set pieces that you could walk through. You could walk through Mother in Alien. You could see the jockey that they first discover, and you could do one other thing. I can't remember what it was. And then somebody set fire to them and they all burned up. So they don't do that anymore. Isn't that a shame? Yeah, it's too bad. But Star Wars, yes, I stood, well, Empire Strikes Back. Okay. I went to the Egyptian Theater and saw it 97 times. Forgive me, 183 times at the Chinese Theater. Yeah, I think it was still Grauman's at the time. It didn't change to Mann's Chinese Theater. It was Grauman's. But I saw it there. And I built a Wookiee suit and stood out in front with some of my friends who are also dressed. And we were paid $10 an hour for the person who, a guy paid us $10 an hour, each one of us, and then charged people to take photos with us. And we were always busy. So busy that I nearly passed out because I locked my knees while being the Wookiee. And so I had to take a break and get something to drink. But yeah, we made good money. He made good money. Good times were had by all, even those of you who had a photograph. So if you were at the Chinese and you took a picture with a Wookiee, a rebel fighter, a Jawa, and Darth Vader, that was us. It's amazing what your passion can lead you to. You do it because it's fun. Next thing you know, you have a job. Yeah. Yeah. Post in the comments if it's you too. It was me. But yes, that's the answer to that question, the Chinese theater. And for my 100th viewing, after getting caught, I got caught at my 65th viewing. I got caught. Oh, somebody's watering. I was like, who? Okay. I was hoping it was a freak rainstorm. I love the rain. But anyway, Joe, to answer your question, I was caught after sneaking in and seeing it 60 plus times. And afterwards, he said, if I let you stay and if I invite you in as a guest anytime you want, you and a guest, will you let me know when you're about to do your 100th viewing? And then he had news crews down to interview me for my 100th viewing of Star Wars. And I had a Star Wars shirt on. My hair was sticking all directions. And I think all that they used was, I love Star Wars and I've seen it 100 times. So I look like a goofball. But joke's on them. It started my career. Yeah, because I decided it would. I saw it that many times to copy down every name in the credits so that I could write to them and ask them, how do I get in the movies to do what they do? Now you can Google. But back then, that was the only way I could think of because the newspapers weren't going to list it. I wrote to George Lucas too, but George Lucas was very busy. And then luckily when I did Captain EO, I got to sit with George Lucas and tell him how he changed my life. Isn't that nice? You should do that with your mentors. If they change your life, come back and say, wow, look at me now. It's your fault. Someone doing that for you, let me tell you, I've had it done twice for me, maybe 3 times. And it never ceases to make me feel like I've won an Academy Award. Yeah. I feel like I've won the lottery when a person comes to me and says, you know, I was on this path, believed this was the path that was only open to me, and you opened my eyes and I took this path and look at me now, you know? Oh, it's so great. It's a great feeling, guys. So that's what I realized, that my superpower is if your gunpowder is wet and you cannot get it to ignite, I can ignite it and help you move forward. That's why Terry's Tribe. Patreon.com/Terry Hardin. And there are people that will tell you, stop saying that, okay? But here's the thing. If you are out there and you are struggling, I am telling you, this $5 a month, $60 a year can possibly change your life. And if it doesn't, and you find it not to your liking, stop doing it. Okay? I want you to understand. I'm telling you this because it can help you. And other tribe members are telling you this because they got helped. Okay? And they helped me. So if you're sitting there and saying, if she says patreon.com/Terry Hardin one more time, don't do that to yourself. Okay? And if you're that person, you don't have to stay. I won't be hurt. I won't know. Well, yes, I will know, but don't worry about it. I'm not going to dislike you. You have a choice to change the channel. That's your right. Okay? Please, if you know, but I've got to tell and keep saying it because sometimes people come later. Sometimes people miss it at the beginning. Sometimes people don't watch over. So I want to make sure that you got this if you need it. Okay? I met some super people. Okay? Let me just tell you a little story about talking about patreon.com/Terry Hardin, just to tell you this is why I do this, okay? If you'll indulge me for about this much time. I spoke about taking the time, if you are one of these entrepreneurs or workaholics or both, and you want to do something for you that doesn't further your career, okay? You want to do it, but the whole time you're doing it, you're feeling a bit guilty, whether it's eating bonbons and watching your favorite movie, reading a book and having a coffee, or whatever. But it's not necessarily furthering your career. Your intention is to relax, let your brain relax, chill before you get back into the trenches and do the work, okay? But many people who do this and really do this a lot and are not people that procrastinate and let grass grow under their feet, when they stop and they take a breather, you're looking at one, sometimes you can feel guilty for doing that. Oh, I really should be doing, I could be doing, I should be doing, I would be doing if I wasn't doing this. But this is just as important as your work, as to take that free time for your body to chill. Some can call it meditation, but I want to point out that meditation is different for different people. And my form of meditation is creating something that has nothing to do with forwarding my career, but something I've always wanted to do that helps me to relax, that helps me to breathe, that feels like dessert. I love dessert, so it feels like dessert. Okay. So I'm going to show you something. And it was designed entirely because I want to be working on something for an hour, 15 minutes, step away, play with this, and then go back to my work. Okay. When I showed this originally, a young man was out there, just like you're sitting out there right now. There was a young man sitting out there that saw this and flipped out. Okay. Because he had a like mind. And at that point, electricity came from me and tickled him. And it could happen to you, not with this picture, but I'm saying something about me, a word, an attitude, something might just get you. And then you're going to sit there and say, whoa, I want to check out the tribe. Okay. Which is exactly what he did. And then he chose to join and he's never looked back. But this is the picture. There it is. I'm going to hide this. Oops. Hide. There we go. There we go. Okay. I got to get to number 2 next. This is my Lego dragon. If you guys have seen the pop art Lego of the Beatles, of Marilyn Monroe, of Harry Potter, etc., 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 I got a Beatles set as a gift, and I didn't want to build the Beatles. No. But I saw the little elements that these were made. They're called dots, and I flipped out. And I designed this. I designed this mural, and I based it on what I saw in the Beatles. In the Beatles kit that I had. So in the Beatles kit, they have panels that are 3 of these panels together. Okay, so you see the big dark lines, they come in single panels, which are 16 dots by 16 dots. Okay, if you don't do Lego, I may be speaking a different language, so I won't spend a lot of time on this. And then it has a set of 3 panels, and the 3 panels would be 16 times 3, right? By 16. Okay, so that's a panel also. But I did it in the small ones because I know that Lego has those panels in 16 by 16. And I can either, if I get a bigger one and it fits somewhere in the dragon, that'll be great. But when you think of that, this dragon is 8 feet. This mural is 8 feet by 5 feet. That's right, folks. 8 feet by 5 feet. And right now, after I've done my work, I calculate the colors, because I'm about to get this started and I need to know how many colors I need. Now, the good news is I don't need to buy all the colors at once, but I do need to know how many colors it's going to take to make an 8 foot by 5 foot mural. People who see this, including people at Lego, go, no one's ever done that before. But when this young man saw it, he said, whoa. He said, whoa. And reached out to me and joined the tribe, and we've never looked back. A new kindred spirit in my life, and I am in his, I hope. I know I am. And you never know what part of sharing is going to help you, and sharing is caring. So there you go. Am I defending myself? No, I just want you to be clear. I tell the truth all the time. Number 2, Joe says, is did you pay to see it all 180 times, or were some of the viewings for free? I snuck in the theater in the morning and stayed all day. And how did I do it? I changed my clothes, changed my hair, changed everything. How did I get caught? I'm helping you with the questions. How did I get caught? The manager called me onto the carpet and said, "You've been cheating." And I did what I usually do, put my head down. And he was a great guy. He said, "You know how I caught you?" He said, "You have the same handbag." And I went, very observant fellow. Different people carrying the same bag. I thought it was just a bit much. And after 1 week, I had seen it 67 times. So he came and spoke with me at the 64th and said, "Why is this so important?" And I pulled out my sketch pad and showed him everything. And he flipped through it. And like the person who reacted to this mural, they're not used to seeing people come up with stuff like this. And it just pops into my head. It's as easy as for some of you, numbers come and balancing a budget comes, which are always a challenge for me, as social media is for many of you. It's not for me. But these ideas that come from nowhere in my heart and my soul pop up at any given moment. So I'm always doing something wild and crazy just for fun. And like this, but this is starting to catch some fire. Pardon the pun. But that's for another day. But the point is, once he saw that I had written down every name in the credits and that I had done sketches of Luke Skywalker and Ben Kenobi and Han Solo and a Wookiee and a Stormtrooper, he said, "Kid, you're something else." And I said, "Thank you, I think." And then he said, "If I let you and a guest for free without sneaking, would you be willing to allow me to use you as a promotion at your 100th viewing?" And that's where it all began. And on the 100th viewing, he gave me a card that was in, you know, how they have the posters inside, locked inside the glass at the theaters. Well, this was a poster of Leia, Luke, Moff Tartan. I think Han Solo's on there. I think C-3PO's on there, but it's 6. And it's really beaten up and faded because at that, it was a year. And so I think it was the 1-year anniversary he gave it to me because they brought me back for the 1-year anniversary and I got several posters and all kinds of cool stuff. For the 1-year anniversary from Star Wars, I got the birthday poster and then they gave me that. And I still have that. And on the back, I later met Anthony Daniels and he autographed the back for me. And I think Prowse did too. David Prowse. I think he autographed the back for me too. And I still have that because when I did this, when I was with an auction house and they auctioned off my collection, which was vast at the time, nobody wanted this because it was beat up, but they didn't understand the story that goes with it. So I'm currently writing a book about this crazy life of mine because so much stuff happened as the Star Wars lady. And then to go full circle and meet some of these people. David Prowse dressed as Darth Vader asked me out because I was in my Wookiee outfit and he thought I was really tall. And he said, "If you take the head off, I'll take you out." And I was like, "No, that's all right." Not that it was anything on him. He's a great guy, but I'm only 5'9". I knew he was going to be sorely disappointed when I showed up as 5'9", not 7'2". But yeah, all kinds of wild things. I worked out in front of the Chinese theater later as a Wookiee with my 3 friends, and we got paid to stand in front and take pictures with people. And the guy paid us $10 an hour each, and he charged a lot more, but we all benefited from it. Yeah, they came. It was $5 a person. So or $6 a person. I mean, $10 a person to come in. But it was just amazing. Yeah, it was amazing life. You just never know when you walk through that door and don't look back. Don't be afraid and not walk through the door. Walk through the door and figure out it later. That's what happens. That's how Dragon's Lair happened for me. I walked through the door. Had I ever designed an attraction in my life? No. Did I love dragons? Yes. Did I know what I wanted to see? Yes. So I just designed it. And then the Disney people came in and gave me their opinions. They're always going to do that. But I was excited. I was in my element. And now that's going to live longer than me. I hope they keep the dragon. When I'm dust, I hope they keep the dragon. And I hope Paris is really flourishing. Yeah, it's a cool thing to have something larger than life that people are looking and loving at. And as an artist that it probably won't go away. Hopefully. And then the Splash Mountain, which I worked very hard on. And now, we don't know. That may have to go away. I hope not. Because it's a beautiful, wonderful ride. And I happen to disagree. I don't think it's racist. I don't. And I'm mixed. Okay. Both sides of me don't think it's racist. Okay. So that's my opinion. I'm sticking with it. Chinese theater in 1977 was Mann's. It will always be the Chinese in my heart, just so you know, Joe. You grew up in Southern California. If you need to get away to relax outdoors with a few people, what is your go-to spot? It used to be isn't everything with me? Evan Hunter, who is part of the tribe, he says there's no short story to you, and he's right. He's right. There's never a. I go here. Next question. It just isn't. But to answer your question, where do I go? I always go to the beach. I love going to the water and sitting and staring at the water. I especially loved just to celebrate my husband's birthday. And I was supposed to go meet with Rolly Crump, but it's his birthday in that same time. And his whole family was coming to see him. And he's in his 90s. So it's exhausting for him. And so his wife gently asked me to postpone, and I did. Now we're going to see each other in May. I'm excited, and I promised I will not wear him out. And she said, he will tell you if you are. And I know he will, because I've made it very clear. I'm not going to be offended. I'm going in with an idea of what I want. I'm going to get what I want, visit with him, and then I'm going to get the heck out because I want him to stay. I don't want to exhaust him. I want him to be happy and any experience with me to be a good one. I don't want to be, but, no. I'm going to be very respectful of him and her time. So I'm excited we get to do it again. But my point is that part of the beach where I went had my favorite bird, which is a pelican. I adore pelicans. I'm crazy about pelicans. I don't know why. They just make me crazy. Maybe they look a little bit like a dragon to me, but all I know is I love them. They look prehistoric and they're so cool and they're so adorable and they're big. And I just adore them. And so I could sit on the balcony of my hotel and stare for hours as the pelicans flew by, and some dove to get fish. And oh my God, it just looked amazing bird. I love nature. I'm a nature nut. So that's where I go to really defrag, to literally let all the prickles in my whole body fall away. If it's something I need to do quickly, I go to my backyard or my front yard because it's very beautiful. I have wonderful neighbors and I have a lovely home. I'm grateful to that. Thank you, Lord. And then finally, I used to go every week. This is true. Years ago, every week when Wolfgang Puck owned the restaurant, which is now the Lamplight restaurant that picture has. It used to be Wolfgang Puck's, and he used to serve a dish that was salmon on flash cooked spinach, which means he used hydrogen to cook the spinach. So it tasted like potato chips, but it was spinach. Unbelievable. So yummy. And I love fish. It was so good that I would have that. And then on Sunday, I'd let everybody know that I sat on the water at California Adventure in the Wolfgang Puck restaurant. And they used to have a fake wave machine that would make waves come up to that restaurant. And I would have a glass of white wine and oysters. I love raw oysters. So I would have a little plate of oysters and I would be eating there, and I'd say 4:00 Sunday, come see me. And people would come and get something autographed, sit and chat with me, go off and do their thing. And I used to do it every other Sunday and as many Sundays as I could. Yeah, I just pop up to Disney because I had a pass that was all the days, and that's what I do. And people come see me and say hello. Yeah. I still like to do that, but it's a different. The parks are too crazy now. And of course, as you know, they're crowded. There's not a lot of that. Sit quietly on a weekday all by yourself and do stuff. I mean, you really got to find the spot, right? It can be done. You just have to be clever about it, you know? So yeah, it's cool. It's really cool. And thank you for that question. Made me go there right in my head. Yeah. Darren says, I've had a few former students come back to me years later and thanked me for what I did for them. It is truly humbling yet amazing experience. So I know what you're speaking to. Yes, exactly. And I think it's a calling. You know, I think we want to do that. Zig Ziglar used to say, help enough people get what they want and you'll get what you want. And it's interesting how that has different meanings as you go along. Because if you're helping someone, you want them to be successful. And then when they come back and tell you they were, you got what you want, right? So, yeah, it's neat. It's neat. And some of the people that you help, wouldn't you agree, Darren, are extremely talented, yet there's that voice inside their body that holds them back. So if we can help them cross over beyond that, then we're doing some real good for these people. And in the tribe, there's several of you out there that have come to the tribe because you need that extra help, that leg up. And so I put my fingers like this, wah! And throw you up in the air. Absolutely. Thank you for saying that. Check out the custom-made sculpting tools that Alexander Merg. I'm going to write Alexander's name down. See, I write it down. I could take a picture, but I'm going to write it down. Does he do them for miniature? Doesn't matter. I love sculpting tools. When I did the pumpkin competition, there's a wonderful guy who makes special pumpkin sculpting tools, and I love them. I made him autograph them, though, but I use them. I love them. They're really good. I'm writing it down now, sculpting tools. There we go. Got it. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you. What a wealth of stuff. Yeah, you weren't in the tribe, but we're thinking of doing a Zoom call on Monday night. So I'll keep you posted on that too. It'll be in the Patreon page for those of you guys. Some people want a nighttime Zoom. I'm Facebook friends with a number of people who worked on Star Wars, most notably Peter Curran, who was the original ILM in Van Nuys and later started his own FX company that's had a gazillion movie credits since 1981 or so. Congratulations. Yeah. I know. I don't know if I know Peter personally. I met a lot of Star Wars people too, like Stuart Ziff, Joe Johnson, Gary Kurtz, George Lucas, John Dykstra. What a fun day that was to work with John Dykstra at Apogee. Yeah. Wow. The guy who made George Lucas look like a rock star. Yeah. Collaborating together, they made magic. Yeah. Dennis Murin. Yeah. I guess I know a few too, Joe. Yeah. You should take your brain and I'll take mine and we'll have lunch and we'll talk about our Star Wars people. Yeah. How exciting. Yeah. They're great. I mean, what a wonderful movie to work on. I have another friend who worked on it, but he worked in London. And when he told me he was working on Star Wars, he worked on Star Wars, I thought he was a millionaire because didn't everybody who worked on Star Wars be a millionaire? And he said no, that he got a buyout. And because London at that time, I don't know if they still are, was a right to work state, which means that a lot of people get bought out. They don't get residuals for their work. And that was a surprise to me. I didn't realize that was the case. And I said, oh, wow. And he said he did. I think he told me his name wasn't in the credits either. But yeah, he worked on Star Wars and he did some puppetry on there. And I was like, whoa, man, whoa. But I thought he was, super filthy rich, because I think anyone is involved in Star Wars because Star Wars just went, whoa, wah! So I just thought maybe, but he said, no, that's not the case. You'll have to share that Star Wars sketchbook sometimes. Yeah. If I can find it. When you're a kid, you draw on everything. But if I can, I will. Does the Paris dragon have a name? No, but she's a she. How do I know this? Because you guys who went to see her say it's a her. And the reason I never named her is because she's your dragon, not my dragon. I mean, I made it happen because you are kindred spirits and love dragons. And I worked with her because she originally was in Tokyo. When I was in high school, I helped sculpt her body. We got to go to Disney Imagineering and sculpt on this dragon. We didn't get to sculpt the head, but we got to sculpt on the body and the paws and stuff. And I was in heaven. I just loved sculpting and wouldn't leave, actually. And then later on, she was in Tokyo. She was in Tokyo Disneyland, but she was all cramped up. You took an elevator down and she was like, I mean, you couldn't even hardly tell it was a dragon. Am I right? And so I really hated that. And I guess the rest of Imagineering did too, because When I had the opportunity to pick another attraction, I went to my supervisor and said, Dragon's Lair is the one I want. At the time, they were going to make it a stone dragon, one that didn't move, didn't do anything. And I said, what are we? What are we? We're Disneyland. Disneyland doesn't do that. Disney does not do stone dragons that don't move. And they said, don't talk to me about it. Talk to Tony Baxter. And so I did, and that's another story. But I told Tony that I had worked on this dragon and the dragon from Japan, and maybe we just free that dragon. I do some alterations to that dragon, which I did to fit into Paris because it had been built in such a way that it had been built as a dragon, then it got mushed together. Then it was in Tokyo where you only saw a little bit, and then it was unfolded again like a piece of origami, and it had spaces that need to be fixed, and that's what I did. That was my job. And then to build the cavern around it and create her environment, and that's what I did. So that's why I say I created the dragon and Dragon's Lair, because I had to do some changes, shifts, and then I animated her. And when I say I animated her, it was not Terry animating her. Okay, let me just be honest. I was the one who got together with the mechanics and the designers and everyone that did the lighting and everything. Because when you design an attraction, you meet with every person from the cement up. Construction, lath and plaster, painters, lighting, animatronics, smoke, water, all of it. Yeah. And I met with all of these people, all men, and spoke with them about what I wanted, what my vision was. And I illustrated it as much as I could, showed visuals of it, did sketches. At one point, Disney didn't like a woman being the only person because they knew they weren't going to send me to Paris to build it in the field. They just didn't do that. And so they brought in an amazing illustrator and concept artist, Brian Jowers. And the two of us came together and came up with a concept that was unbelievable. And then when we presented it to the Disney executives, Tony was not there. Nobody got it. Nobody understood. And I was like, did you see Sleeping Beauty? Anybody? And so sometimes people will surprise you. You work for Disney and you haven't done the basic study. Now, I'll admit that as Imagineer, I never dug deep into certain things unless I needed to. But I knew the surface and I knew the passion of being an Imagineer. So if I didn't know it, I'd go and ask, I'd learn, I'd read. The one thing that was a real blessing about being an Imagineer was that you could go to the Disney Animation Archives and flip through the cells and the drawings. Can you imagine? Think about if that's you and you need to study a character, you get to flip through them. You have to wear white gloves to protect it. But, so amazing. My heart beating like a rabbit as I spent a lot of time with Maleficent, even though that really wasn't why I was there to see the Sleeping Beauty stuff. But I wanted to see the Maleficent and how they animated her and stuff. And I got to sit by myself with gloves. And, so awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that was cool. I was telling Evan came to visit me, and I was telling Evan about walking the rides. Because when I was sculpting collectibles for Disney that Disney purchased to put in the park, which is different from what I do now, I asked them if I could walk the ride, and I walked the ride. So I did it early in the morning. A cast member had to be with me, one that works at the Disneyland park, and they would walk with me. But I always did it in the morning because I think as a cast member, when you're coming to do your job, even if you love it, it's nicer to do it in the morning when you're fresh, get you all revved up. And then when you're done, you can go home at night if you so choose, or grab some dinner or something. You don't spend an extra hour with an Imagineer as they walk through the ride, and you've put in 8 to 10 hours of your hard-earned day. So I said, let's do it in the morning before rope drop. So I had to get there about 5 or 6 in the morning, 6 in the morning usually for the cast member to come and walk me through. They walked me through Haunted Mansion. We walked through Peter Pan ride. Because I did the Peter Pan flying ship. We walked through Alice. We walked through a lot of the dark rides I walked through just because I could. Went and saw the carousel early because I did the Jewels of the Park. That was my first one. And then we walked through Pirates. At the time we walked through Pirates, it had water in it. When I was an Imagineer, the water was out of it. Like now, I'll bet you the water's out of it because they're repairing it. So I could walk like I was a boat. up and down, up and down. It was really fun. And I was able to just kind of walk and experience certain areas. We walked as Imagineers at that time. We actually were a group of us coming from Imagineering to walk the ride because once you're hired, if you're going to do an attraction for somewhere else, they walk the attraction. So I was building Big Thunder Paris. And so they were taking us to walk through Big Thunder Anaheim. And that was amazing. I got to tell you, that was amazing because it's what the Imagineers didn't do. Yeah, what they did was amazing, but what they didn't do was the aha moment for me, was what they didn't do. Okay, there are areas where there's stuff that's just painted. It's not even decorated, but it's because you're zooming through so fast that it's a blur. You don't even notice. I didn't, because I ride the ride all the time. I didn't notice it, but it's very impressive. And then you were allowed to pick, as an Imagineer, a second ride that you had questions about. And for me, ever since I was knee-high to a grasshopper, was Pirates of the Caribbean. I could not understand how you could put so much attraction underneath the gallery, which is now not the gallery, but still, how does that work? I kept trying to figure it out. I'd ride it over and over. How is this being done? And that's what I told my supervisor. And my supervisor said, oh, you're going to love walking that ride. And they actually took me on a catwalk so that I could see the entire ride from above and actually understand and comprehend how the Imagineers made this happen. And it was genius, absolute genius, and just made my heart go pity pat. So it is one of my favorite attractions. I'd say it's my favorite, but I love Mr. Toad's. It's hard for me to go to Disneyland and not ride Mr. Toad's. This last time I couldn't because it was so crowded. That was the one area where it was really packed with people, and I just couldn't. It was like a brick. You couldn't even get in. No. I had to skip. But I'm going again this month, and I hope that Mr. Toad's is available so I can ride it because I love that attraction. And then Pirates was closed, so I didn't get to see it, but it's going to be lovely because I know they're probably giving it a new coat of paint and a new, making sure the pirates look their best. And it's going to be great. It's going to be excellent. So I'm excited to see because Disney always does it nicely. And it was great to walk the ride. So walking the ride was cool. It was really cool. And I'm grateful. So I was able to do that as long as Disney was the one commissioning me to do the work. If Disney was like, we want this in the park, Terry, for this event, what do you need? I would say what I would like is to walk the ride. So that's what we did. And it's great. If you're not an Imagineer, sometimes you don't think to ask that, but I did. So it was good. It was fun. It was really fun. Yeah. A perk, and sometimes when you work for a company, you have to weigh the perks. You want to get paid because you need to eat. Of course you do. But you also want to weigh the perks that you can have as when you have that title. Yeah. You could say, I work for Disney. Opens a lot of doors that usually stay closed. I'm not going to lie. At least now. Yeah. I mean, Chapek may make a change. People are going to give you a piece of their mind if Chapek keeps doing what he's doing, right? And it's not just him. He's the voice for the company. But if the company keeps doing this, the shadow could crawl over the company. And then you get people at you instead of, I love Disney. Luckily I keep getting, I love Disney. So that's what I love. Joe says, when was the last time you saw the original Star Wars from 1977? 3 days ago. Yeah, I have it. So I just watched it. The Academy is showing it in May, but I think it's full. And I'm still not good with a full theater yet, so I won't be going. But they're showing the original. Yeah, and I don't know if it's the original redone version or the original. Sometimes the Academy can get a hold of the original. So I don't know which one it is, but I'm there in spirit. Yeah. Yeah, I love Empire Strikes Back, so that's the one I watched like over and over and over again. That's the one I saw 97 times. They repolstered a seat at the Egyptian Theater and put a rope across, so whenever I came, I just had to go and sit under the rope, sit there. A lot of people are like, who's that chair? Yeah, it's cool. Yes. Stephen says Bob Gurr is going to be at the Grand Marshal. Bob Gurr is going to be the Grand Marshal for Bob Baker Day tomorrow. Free admission at the park on Spring Street from 10 to 5. How fun. I didn't even know this position existed. When do I get to do that? Next year, maybe? That's wonderful. You're going to love, I mean, you guys know Bob. If you don't know him, you'd love him anyway. Yeah, he's lovely. You're going to have a great time. You're going to have a really great time. Very, very exciting. Thanks for telling me that, Stephen. Can't make it tomorrow. I have a painting to do, but I'll be there in spirit. Joe says, what classic Disneyland attraction that no longer is there do you miss the most? Do you wish it would come back? Carousel of Progress. I really miss that here. But more importantly, the rocket ships being up. Okay, in Tokyo, they're up. Thank goodness. Because now that they're down, they're a carnival ride, and I won't even ride them anymore. I don't like them down there. It's a carnival ride. It's the Scrambler. Ugh. But I loved when they were up and you went up in the red, the red cage, just like you were an astronaut. And you climbed on and you walked around and you felt like you were flying, especially in the rain. Oh, I miss that so bad. I miss them being up in the air. I rode them all the time. And if it was rainy, oh man, and school got canceled for whatever reason, I was right down at Disneyland to ride the rocket ships. And you could keep going because nobody was in the park. So you guys remember, want to go again? Yeah. And you just forever. Oh, those were the days. But I really miss that more than anything. I miss those rocket ships up in the air. Oh gosh, I miss that. I also miss the flying saucers. The flying saucers as a kid would break down because it took computers as big as my house to make it run. And now it would only be a chip. So I'm constantly bothering Bob Gurr and Marty Sklar, bless his heart, when he was alive, about bringing back the flying saucer now that you can put a chip. And I remember Bob Gurr telling me Luigi's Tires was that kind of a ride. It's not. Okay. No, it wasn't, Bob. That is not. The flying saucers were one or two people, and usually you and a kid. They were very small, cute, intimate, and adorable. And you felt like a little hockey puck floating around. It was just the best ride ever, was the flying saucers. And then when it broke down, I wouldn't leave. As a kid, I would not leave the saucer. I was willing to wait until it kicked back up again. And of course, the cast member had to help my parents peel me out of that flying saucer because of all time, that is my favorite Disneyland ride of all time. That one. Oh my gosh, I love the flying saucers. Can you tell? Oh, I dream of it. Every time I dream of it. I love the flying saucers. In fact, I love Ryman Arts, which helps inner city or kids at risk or whatever, people that are having more challenges than normal. Sometimes I think that's all of us, but I digress. Ryman Arts helps them to learn art. The only downside is I wish they teach sculpting too, but I digress again. And Marty Sklar used to have this big event to celebrate Ryman Arts and to donate to Ryman Arts at his home. And Bob Gurr was there. Oof, I'm out of tea. Sadness. Bob Gurr was there. And he had some prints that Disney had authorized him of sketches he had done for Disney. Monorail, Autopia Car, Space Mountain, the flying saucers. And I knew most people were going to covet that monorail because that monorail sketch of his is bar none so beautiful. But I wanted the saucers. And so I stalked his booth until the people that were taking the orders, and you put a red dot if you wanted to buy it, your dot with your number. And as soon as they opened it up, I slapped that dot on that spaceship and I stood right by that drawing until that person came over and said, that's mine. And I bought it so fast, everybody's head was spinning. I bought it so fast and I have it and I love it. And it's amazing. It's amazing. It's a sketch by Bob. He could only do one. Disney would only authorize him to do one to celebrate Ryman Arts. And that's because of him and Marty Sklar. And yeah, it was great. It was great. It was wonderful. In fact, Bob and I, let me just see. I want to show you a really cute picture because I'm talking a lot about Bob Gurr because Bob Gurr is a great guy, guys. I mean, how do you not love Bob Gurr once you know him? You know, the guy is just lovely, lovely. But here we are at, here Bob and I are at, let me just hide this. Here we are at the celebration of life for Marty Sklar. And we were given the centerpieces. And I wanted him to know that I knew he was really hurting, and that I loved him, and that I adored him, and that we will always be friends. We will always be close, and he will always be a rock star in my eyes and so many. And we both shared a moment here as we said goodbye to our beloved Marty Sklar. So this man, if you get to see this man, do not hesitate to see this man. He is so generous with his time and everything. And he's always, poking me with little jibes, but I poke right back. But I love him. He's just a doll. So I want to just say to you, cool. So that's the one, Joe. The flying saucers, please, please. Ron Kabbalah says, you lit a fire under me. I've been busy, but I heard you in the tribe live. I ran out and painted something real quick and talked to the red dot, and I'm overnighting it. You don't have to overnight it, Ron. You don't have to spend that extra money. You don't. Stop. Murder, please. You can just tell them you're going to do it. You'll send it to them. Send it normal mail. And because some of us, like me, are getting extensions, and I'm glad you're going to be a part of it. And on the tribe, we've decided to, get on the tribe side, and I'll tell you what we decided, okay? But I was hoping you'd say you painted. And Ron Kabbalah, you're a painter, so I'll bet you painted it in like an hour or something, and it's taken me days. And I was almost done. I almost hit the deadline because I like to hit deadlines, but I finally wrote to them and said, can I send it to you next week? They said, absolutely. So they cut me a break. And then Michelle Dwinell is doing the same thing. We got 3 tribe members to the red dot. So I'm feeling pretty, I'm feeling my cups, man. I'm feeling good because this charity is going to get some good painting. Well, you and Michelle, and then there's me. But I'm hoping I'll get a red dot this time. Oh, I'm really striving for that red dot. I haven't got a red dot yet, except for when I sculpt. So I'm hoping I get a red dot. And for those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, Google red dot auction. This is where artists can come together and we paint paintings, and people bid on them, and the money goes to the Chuck Jones Center of Creativity, a charity event. And it's wonderful. And you too can join, but you might be a little late for this year, but you can always write to them and say, I'd like to paint something. I'd like to donate something. And I'll bet you they won't tell you no, because they're good that way. But it's going to be exciting. And then those of you who are painting, ask to go to the gala, because they love to have the artist there, because then a person can ask you about your painting. Well, they really can't, because we're secretive about, we can't say we painted it, because they don't want people to buy it because you painted it. They want you to buy it because you like it, right? And some people will do it just out of the goodness of their heart. But yeah, and it means about 750, 800, depending on where they are this year, to the charity. So it's very cool when you get a red dot. I've gotten close. When I did a sculpture, I got a red dot, but I'm a sculptor. So, I mean, I better get a red dot. But I'm praying I get a red dot this time. My very first painting I did, I went to YouTube to learn how to paint, and I think I did okay. And I said, did my painting get any money? Because I was like, I haven't used acrylics since I was 7 years old. Maybe I was 17. I just didn't like the way I couldn't paint in them. And now there's so many great trainers on YouTube and off that I'm really producing something that I think is pretty cool. Last year, my painting didn't get a red dot, but it got sold. So yay, I'm getting closer. But it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And I get to see people who really can paint, like Ron, and meet all kinds of different people like that. And it's exciting. So Ron, I am so glad you did it. And I'm so glad that would just make them. And I'm so glad it's my fault. Yeah, I am. Flying saucers, absolutely. They're my favorite. Yes. Gurr is a delight. Yes, he is. There's nothing negative you could say about Bob Gurr. You just can't. And I have another picture here. I don't know if I have it in my repertoire, but I will see. If I don't, I will show you next time. Yeah, I don't have it here, but I did a Stitch puppet and Bob Gurr bought it. And it's a real cute picture of the two of us as he manipulates Stitch. A puppet I did for an event at Louis Garcia's event. Louis Garcia, who was a police officer and supports the police in every way, shape, or form. I helped with that. So So there you go, my friends. We only went an hour and 50 minutes today, but it was action packed. It was fun. I had a great time. I hope you did too. I think because of this weather or because it's Friday, you guys, I'm going to tell myself that anyway. You guys have decided to enjoy yourself. You can always watch this later and go enjoy your day. Go have a great, fun filled, exciting day. I'm going to catch up on a stack of stuff I've got to do. I have promised people that I would, like, for example, the Disney and a Fan Club is honoring me as a Disney legend on May 14th. And you can go for the day or you can go to dinner, and then the show and sale is the next day, and I'll be there too. So you go to Disneyland fanclub.org, or if you're in Facebook, just look for Disney and a Fan Club in the search bar. They have a Facebook page as well. I probably should have had that in my thing, and I will after. I'll do my best to get up to date. But I have to get them a picture and stuff. Kim Arvine has already beat me to the punch because she's probably got like a press kit or something. But I will get that. I'm going to do that now because Nicholas has been so sweet, and all the people of the Disney and a Fan Club have been really nice and patient, and I really need to get that to them so they can mark it. And I'm going to do that now. So I love you guys so much. You have a lovely weekend, and you are very welcome, Darren. You have an amazing weekend too, and we'll catch you here on Monday again. Okay? Have a great weekend. It's going to be cooler tomorrow for those of you in California that are sweltering. So enjoy, and next week, maybe rain, whoop, whoop, and cooler weather. So you got a lot to look forward to, but enjoy your Saturday. Enjoy your weekend. I love you bunch. Do something nice for someone else. It'll make you feel a whole lot better, as you've heard today. So be good, be well, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.